And we're live. Ooh. Kyle, is it too expensive at the cat house?
They don't have any prices on here. I was just looking at this girl's pictures, and I don't know. It was just not a good angle for her.
Wouldn't it be illegal if they put prices?
That's porn. Don't click that. Don't show that to the people.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah, it snapped at me and like instantly. I was like, wait, I was just looking at titties.
But they're I see. Is the one that's a bad angle when she's doing this?
Her boobs look bad. Like there's some loose skin there. They look they don't look firm. But the way she's lying.
Oh yeah, and she has an inverted nipple, I think.
No, I didn't catch that. I didn't do a real exam here. Let me go back.
I wish I could. Oh wait, I can help you. Picture
She's
number 6.
Yeah, that might be an inverted nipple or a boob job. Because with a boob job, they cut the nipple off and replace it somewhere. So something weird might have happened there.
I wonder if that's why her boobs are like. She doesn't look old enough to be saggy.
They look
like
real.
That.
They look real though. Like saggy fake boobs look different than saggy real boobs. It just does a whole different thing.
Here's my theory: the implants were removed. Like something went wrong, and now she's post boob job.
My theory is this is a tactically placed left arm hiding a C-section scar.
Well, if you want to see the full lineup here, that's this link. And I was just looking like I don't see a lot of tens in the mix, but I think they have like special weeks where porn stars come in, and maybe you could give one of those.
Tens don't actually have to be prostitutes. They just go fuck one guy who with a lot of money usually.
Well,
the Ivanka strategy.
The Ivanka. Well, she doesn't even have to have that strategy because she's already got money.
Yeah.
But yeah, this
the Ivana strategy.
The Melania strategy.
Take your pick,
Ivana
really.
He's first, right?
Got like
yeah,
3.
really, any of these.
He said that they were saying today that Ivanka, the daughter, right, is going to fulfill the role of first lady. She's going to be doing that job, like all those all that hosting and all that social stuff and policy stuff. They're going to let her do that.
You know what? I don't have any objections to
I
that.
love it.
She
I
seems
love it.
capable and smart.
Yeah, she's
and
hot.
That's.
You want to see her nipple?
Well, okay, yeah, you know that I do, but yeah, like my initial thing was like, what? That's sick. Actually, no, it's a job that gets done, and I think she'd be good at it, based on what little I know of her. So my mind is open. I don't like his EPA choice. He has a climate denier in charge of the EPA. That's ridiculous.
Sorry, that's a bit low quality. I'll keep looking.
That's I feel like walking into this place would be really depressing. Like it wouldn't be at all as upbeat as this website would have you believe on the Bunny Ranch. Like I feel like it would not.
I think it's the opposite. So all right. So first of all, I think because you and I are a little smarter than the average bear, we would the whole facade. They put FBE in there sometimes describing their skills. It'll be like, oh, I give great blowjobs, really fantastic anal, and a wonderful FBE. That's the full boyfriend experience. That's where they pretend like they're your boyfriend and they love you. And I think that you and I would both be like, this just makes me feel dirty. You're a bad actress. You're a bad actress. Just suck my dick. Let's just keep this a business transaction. I don't like the way this feels. It feels dirty, and it feels like you're insulting my intelligence and I'm insulting your intelligence by playing along. It feels like we're both playing make believe, but neither one of us want to.
It's the same way.
Bad.
It would feel the same as if. Like it's like if I go up to a little, like one of my nephews, I guess, was at not a nephew, some cousin, little cousin, was at a Thanksgiving thing, and I was down like really playing with them, like, oh, you like this toy? I wonder what's gonna happen if it gets grabbed by this toy. Oh, it's gonna go away, and you like patronize them a little bit. That's exactly what the full boyfriend experience is. She's going, oh, you're so great. Oh man, I love your dick. I also love how you're so kind to me and friendly, and we just have the best relationship. And
just grab her right around the jar.
Can you just snuggle for just a couple more minutes before you head off to work, sweet? Your time's up. 20 more minutes.
They say that. I've heard them say that some guys just want to cuddle for like long periods of time and stuff. It's a real sad thing, the whorehouse. And that's why prostitution should be legal. Like we think that like, I bet it's a bunch of dirty old men going in there and just railing young girls and they hate it. That's not the case. That's not what's happening. you have a lot of real lonely, sad people who are going there for some emotional contact. And there may be sex, but to them, 80-90% of those guys going in there are really looking for love and for physical touch and physical comfort and physical love. And it gets lost in the dirty jizz and tits of it all, because that's what guys have to do to cover up their deep down painful feelings that they're not allowed to express necessarily. So they're just going in there looking for some medication. Yeah. You know, marijuana is now looked at as a medication. Someday, I guarantee you, in this fine country, there will be medicinal pussy. All right, it'll be prescribed to you by your doctor, and Trump Care will cover it. I guarantee.
Trump Care.
Trump Care. Yeah, it's pre-existing conditions. If you're 26, you get to get on your parents' policy and pussy. All right, that's the new foundation of our healthcare system right there. Pre-existing conditions. 26-year-olds are covered, and pussy.
It only covers horniness, male or female, ages 0 to 100, but that's it. It's only prostitutes that Trump Care covers. All the rest is buy your own fucking insurance. It's not my job to get you any fucking insurance. I'll get you laid. You know, I'll get you laid. I'll be the president of the house, get you laid if that's what needs to happen. But I'm not going to be the one who puts the bill for you to eat your fucking ass off with a bunch of fat foods, drink your Diet Coke, and then expect the American people to be behind you. That's not going to happen. I will get you laid. Thank you. That kind of shit.
I like that.
Kind of nonsense.
Trump's going to lecture us on obesity. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. The
American people. The part of me really wants to go fuck one of these whores, and part of me is like, that's so gross. And not because you're like fucking someone that's fucked a bunch of different people. It just feels like the fakeness of it really is a huge turnoff, and that's the part that feels dirty to me. The fake emotional part of it, or the acting on her part, where she's pretending like this is like she cares about you, or there's something intrinsically about you that has taken her by surprise. Oh, normally the men who pay to fuck me, they're just real bores, but wow, you're really interesting and funny. Yeah, you're so smart and funny. Yeah. No, you say that to every one of the guys who pays you to fuck you. Shut up, you're making me mad. Like, I don't. Yeah, now I'm not gonna fuck you. But although I've heard the girls on the Stern Show, the actual prostitutes from that specific whorehouse, they'll be on the Stern Show as guests, and obviously they're getting their work plugged, and not literally, not physically. I guess it goes both ways, the literal meaning. But they're promoting their porn work. They're promoting that they're there at this cat house if you want to come fuck them. All the things that they do, and in exchange, they're there for a contest. Now, my favorite contest was, I think it was Dirty Grandpa. They may have even been doing it to promote the Johnny Knoxville movie Dirty Grandpa. What happened was they get 3 grandpas in there who haven't been laid since like Eisenhower or something like that, like 20, 30 years. They each tell their individual stories about, what happened in their lives and why they haven't been laid in so long. And in many cases, it's like, I fought in WW2, and then my wife Carol was the only woman I was ever with, except for a couple of times. Howard gets it out of this guy that he cheated on his wife 50 years ago. he's like, but I haven't been with anyone since then. He's like, well, what do you think of this lady right here? He's like, oh, I think she's real nice, because it's just like these like 22-year-old like perfect women in front of these like 70-year-old guys. Well, they finally picked the guy who wins. They're like, you and your son are going out to Vegas, because the grandson or the son put him up for this, if I remember correctly. It may have even been a granddaughter. But long story short, he wins, he gets to Vegas, and before he's going to go to fuck the lady, he's like, I want me a steak dinner before this fucking commences. And he choked on the steak and died.
Why would you eat a big steak dinner before your first fuck in half a century?
He wanted some power. He wanted to really put something behind
I really feel like I don't have an objection with that.
No, I'm saying no, you don't, because you're not 75 years old. I don't feel like that. I feel like you really got to be walking on eggshells all the time.
I feel
like a little bit of kale and wheatgrass before that fuck.
To me, like, let's say I do something I enjoy. Like, I'm going to play ice hockey, I have a steak dinner, and I get laid. That's a hat trick of a day.
We do. If you're 75, that's dancing on death's door, hoping he doesn't answer. You're mocking the devil at that point, flipping him off through those little narrow, misshapen windows that people have for decoration on the side of their door. Like that's what you're doing. You got to be careful. So I think, honestly, who in God's green earth would not get laid for half a century, get to where you're going to get laid, and then go, I'm a little hungry first. He didn't deserve it. Because if he wanted it, he would have soared in there and got it. He could have had a couple crackers on the plane. You're fine. Like I don't know.
There's something about prostitution that's so dirty though. And it's definitely not the pay for sex. It's not that part. That part doesn't gross me out. it doesn't gross me out at all. Like that seems like a real nice business.
Is it
transaction.
how many partners she had? Is that
no? I don't care about that either. It's more about the fake emotional thing. It's that there's no like emotion there that's legitimate, and that if we ever pretend that there is any legitimate emotion there, then it's like, man, this is just a big lie that I'm seeing straight through right now. Like I don't want to. I want to be able to suspend my disbelief so that I can enjoy an Alien versus Predator movie. I also want to be able to suspend my disbelief, or at least, or know that the person wants to fuck me. I don't want her to not fuck me. So we joke about rape all the time, but the idea of rape is so repugnant to me. Like I wouldn't want to have sex with someone who doesn't want to have sex with me. It's the least sexual thing that I can think of, So in this instance, I'm like, man, I would have to find a whore who likes me. And then the only way I would know she likes me is she'd have to give me a discount. I think then I could have a good time. So I think maybe that's a good ploy. If you're a hooker out there, I know we only have 1% female viewership, but maybe 1% of those females are prostitutes. I think that would be
a whole Pretty Woman thing.
Yeah, that would make me. I think that's how you would fool someone like me. You'd have to start off with like being like cold and everything, and like name your price. But then after like 20 minutes of us being around, you'd be like, you know what? Make it $750 instead of $1,000. I like you.
If we have 100,000 views, 1% of 1% is one prostitute watching this show. So I think
there has to be at least one.
Looking for you.
Yeah, you out there. Give a brother a discount if you actually like fucking them. And then
you got a couple of porn stars that watch. I mean, I guess
we need a picture of Kyle, like one of the photoshoppers, like him in that, we want you. Uncle Sam kind of outfit, but it needs to say, we want you to fuck me for money, or something like that. So get on
for a fair fucking wage.
For a fair price.
Not like those Bangladeshi hoes.
Now, the whole thing you're saying, like, I totally agree with you that it's gross, but it's not just the emotional thing that I don't like. It's like what you said. The physical thing is gross too, because the entire time, this would have never happened if I didn't pay the fucking till on my way in. Like if I didn't stop at the cashier and go, yes, I'm going to be deep dicking the lady in number 3 for 25, call it 15 minutes. Got a meeting at 2 or whatever the fuck these people are doing there. And like that, like just knowing that the other person isn't into it at all is uncomfortable.
I have a different view.
It makes it's more of a downer than an upper. It's more of like this sucks than I'm enjoying this if they're not into it as well. So, it's better to have no sex than that kind of sex. I don't
know. You never know. I say that now, really but I'm not. The other thing is, if you haven't had, the longer it's been since you've had sex, the less gross and unappealing all that stuff we just talked about is.
Totally
as
true.
People, we're all people getting regular sex right now. Although I've been in positions where I haven't been getting regular sex, and I suppose a prostitute would seem just fine in those moments. So I guess it's all relative,
So I want to jump in on this. You guys, okay. So in a relationship sex, being wanted is like the sexiest thing that a girl can do, right? The idea that she's hot for me is a huge turn on. However, like hypothetical prostitute sex, I feel like the whole point there is you're paying for her to leave, right? The old Charlie Sheen thing, right? I'm not paying for sex. I can get sex. I'm paying for her to leave. I feel like you go into that knowing it's just a service that she's performing. And the yuckiest thing for me is the fact that this is a woman who's been around the block. Like that's not my cup of tea. If I know that she's had 7,000 partners before me, then I'm not.
Well, 7,000 is a lot.
She's a pro.
How
right?
many is too many?
I'm not sure, but the thought on that was like,
you are.
I don't know. It's like, I'm not going here for her to love me. I'm going for her to like expertly get me off, and that's what we're doing here. And we both know what the score is before it started.
They'll try to get cheap on you.
I did hear Jim Norton talk about that. Yeah, he's like, God, they put that vibrator on my ass while I'm fucking her, and like I can't go 4 minutes. And
he is the most degenerate person when he talks about his sex, in that like he regularly just refers to himself like, or he used to, I don't know if he does it anymore as much, but he'd be like, yeah, just last night I went home after doing the show and I was just edging for like 7 hours. And it's like, it's like that's what he does. He just goes home and he just masturbates and edges for hours. And then he was expressing his discontent when he's like, and you know, when you're trying to jack off and like you almost like pre-shoot it and then it almost goes back in, and so the load you're gonna shoot isn't as good as the one you were anticipating, and then the whole process is ruined. And you like have to start over. And it was like looking into the peephole of like, that's what like true sex addiction must be like.
Yeah.
Like this guy can't stop edging.
I can relate to some of that stuff, but the stuff that's ridiculous is when he talks about like how much Craigslist stuff he does and how many like they call it a four-handed massage. That's when you got two chicks to give you a rub down. He told this story about ordering himself up a four-handed massage on the old Craigslist, and these two ladies are giving him the massage, and he didn't realize it until like it was over, but he recognizes one of these chicks as like she works on a show that he's also working on. He said so he thinks she recognized him at the beginning of the massage and was like no sex to her buddy, like oh no happy in it, because we get to the end and he's like, that's it, and they're like, yep, that's it, and he's like, fuck. Like what the hell, you just paid $80 for some four-handed massage, and there's no happy ending at the end. He talked about
that's about what a massage cost, I think, and that's a regular massage.
Well, a massage when you go into a reputable establishment, not when two chicks show up at a hotel room and rub you down on the couch.